You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up locally and globally, Vince vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little, expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. Get addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want to invite and bet your friends watching in the house and your job parking lot before you clock in. They don't wanna miss a second of this HD content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back until you start try again, Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey everybody, welcome to the hood table. Come on in, everybody. I see people popping in already. Make sure y'all hit that like button, please. Give a sister a thumbs up, especially if you rep the hood table. And make sure you share this video. Please share this video and subscribe to the hood table if you're not already subscribed to the hood table. Now, we do have some special guests on the show with us tonight. We're going to have a serious conversation, as you can see by the title of the show. A lot of things been going on lately in our communities, and a lot of it is not right and is continuing, and we must talk about it. We must face these things that's going on in our communities. So I want to first have my guest introduce herself. Ladies first, of course.
Hi, I'm Nikki Griffey.
Hi, Nikki. Thanks for tuning in with us tonight.
Hello.
And I'm Sherman Wells.
Hey, Sherman. How's everybody doing this evening?
Good.
All right.
That's good. Okay, Nikki, we just gonna jump right into this, okay?
Yes.
What happened to you is very disturbing, and it also happened to somebody else in another company nearby here, like a couple of weeks ago. I couldn't believe that when I heard it, and I still can't believe your story when I heard that as well. So why don't you jump right into what's going on here?
Okay, so I work at AutoMart 150, or I was working there, and my general manager, Aaron Kephart, he came to me and was like, do you want to go back on welfare? Just because the conditions outside was too much for me, but I finished my job. I did what I was supposed to do. But when I was like, hey, I can't do that again, you know? And he was like, well, do you want to go back on welfare? So about an hour, well, I told him at that point, you don't know me. So I would say about an hour later, my customer came in. I've been waiting on him, you know, that day. So I'm working with my customer, putting everything I need to in the system. I don't know, he was sitting behind me in the desk behind me. And he came up, he was like, Nick, I got something for you. I wasn't paying attention at first because I was still in my feelings about his comment he made an hour ago. And I'm just trying to focus, finish this customer up so I can go home. So my customer was like, what is that? Then she was like, what the hell is that? And then that's when I looked at her, was like, what? She was like, what did he put on your desk? And I grabbed it, picked it up, and it was a bread tie, but black, tied up like a noose. So he sat it on my desk and he started laughing, was like, I don't know what that is or what it's supposed to be, and walked out the door. 30 minutes later, he comes back. Now, during this time while he was gone, I had to try to calm my customer down. She was livid. I showed my coworker, Quentin, they call him Q, what he put on my desk. He was like, oh, hell no, that you need to stop having them play with you like that. He was like, that's a noose. That's a noose. Okay. 30 minutes later.
It's pretty obvious to everybody.
To everybody. It was a noose. It didn't look like nothing else but that. It had a straight point and a loop at the other ends. So he come back in. He comes to my desk and write, I like you on my calendar. I didn't say nothing. I just looked at it. My customer was like, what did he write? And I said, he wrote, I like you. She said, you know, and I'm like, I don't know. I was like, hey, once I get done with you, when y'all leave, I'm leaving with y'all.
Now, can we go back a little bit? What was it that you were doing outside that they had you doing that? I know you said it was really hot. So what was you actually doing outside?
Washing cars, getting into them hot cars, driving them all the way on the other side of the dealership, running them through, taking them back, you know, just, it was like I did about 20 cars that day.
And it was really hot outside?
It was really hot. And before hiring, he knew my health condition. He knew I could not be in direct sunlight or in very cold weather because of my arthritis. And he just, you know, blankly said, do you want to go on welfare or do it?
So after he asked you, did you want to go back on welfare? Were you done washing the cars or did you have to go back out and finish?
I was done at that time. But see here, like it was 3 of us out there washing cars that day. Me, Quentin, and Dakota.
Okay.
And we're washing cars. And I thought it was the last car. You know, everybody had their last vehicle. I got in that vehicle and I hurried up and got there so I can come back and get in the AC. So I was the first there. Aaron comes in, you know, he be moving dealership to dealership, you know, or whatever. He came in and I asked him, you know, can I talk to him? He was like, wait, 1 minute. So he go right back out the door, looked around at the vehicles, walks back in, go to the keyboard, grab 3 keys, put them on my desk and said, these need to be washed too. So I got up and did it. Wow. So by the time I got back with my last 3rd car, the guys is in the office just, you know, having a good little, you know, time. And at this point, I mean, I walked in, went to the bathroom, had to cool myself down. And I asked him again, can I talk to you? He was like, well, I hope it ain't got nothing to do with the weather conditions. And I was like, it does. And then that's when he said, do you want to go back on welfare? This is what you got to do.
That is really offensive. Now, I don't want to pry too much, but did you ever know if you been on welfare before?
No, I looked him in his eye and I said, you don't know me.
Because I find that highly offensive, even if I was to have been on welfare.
Me too. And so, like I said, it was an hour from that time to when my customer came in. So I'm upset. I went outside to smoke a cigarette. Okay. And the other manager by the name of Chris, he was outside with another, I think it was Dakota. And he was like, oh, Nick, don't take that offensively. You know, me and my wife was on welfare at one time when they fired me. I looked at him and I was like, what do you mean? He should never said that to me. And you shouldn't be acting like it's cool. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go smoke over there. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't down for it, and they knew that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been down for that either. I totally understand. I would be very offended of that. And then what happened next? You said you went home.
Well, I went home after I was done with my customer.
Okay. And then did you go to work the next day?
No, I didn't. I called in that night. I sent a text message to Chris, and I told him, hey, I don't feel good. I'm not going to make it in tomorrow.
And
he was like,
the heat from the day before?
Well, it was the same day. So I texted him. By the time I got home, I, you know, took a shower, prayed, you know what I'm saying? Sat down, texted him, said I couldn't make it tomorrow. You know, don't feel good. He told me, well, he was like, I'm scheduled to be off. I'm not going to be there. So you got to text Aaron. I text Aaron. He started going through, oh, you're sick. You know, is it a fever? You know, just going rattling around talking about, well, do I have to send you a COVID form? And I'm like, you know, just go ahead and do what you have to do as far as the COVID form or whatever. I was like, but I'm not going to make it in tomorrow.
Okay. So far, we learned that you were washing a lot of cars. It was really, really hot. They already know your medical condition. You can't be in a lot of heat. Then when you told them about it, he asked you, did you want to go back on welfare? And then after that, when you were sitting down with your customer, going over paperwork for a new contract for a car, because you are a car saleswoman, and that's when he put the noose on your desk.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm trying to summarize it for those who came in just now. And then after that, your customer noticed, you brought the attention of another coworker.
Yep.
And then after that, you went home and texted them and said you won't be coming to work the next day.
Yes.
Okay, so take this from there.
Okay, so the following day, I was getting phone calls. I would say from about 8 in the morning to about 10. So I went over to my sister's house because I seen it was Aaron, it was King. They were just calling back to back. Hey, y'all knew I was calling in. You okayed it. What do we really have to talk about today? That's what was going through my mind, you know? So I went to my sister's and I was like, you know, sis, because that's okay. Let me rewind. So when I left the dealership, I was so upset. Only people I could think about to call was my sisters. So I called my sisters. We have a group chat, you know what I'm saying? And I pulled over at McDonald's, bawling my ass off, you know, just like, and I was like, what, you know, first thing I asked them, what does this look like to you? And they were like, a noose. What, you know, like where you get that from? And I told them what happened, you know, and yeah, it was just real, you know.
And what did your family, what did they recommend?
They were pissed. I can't even run down all the recommendations. You know, some of them was ready to come down there, but I told them I'm not there. I'm going home.
I can imagine. You know? I can imagine.
Family. And they were like, well, yeah. And it's like my older sister, I have an older, like she's pretty, you know, pretty good in age, you know what I'm saying? Very knowledgeable. And she was like, sis, you know, I mean, I'm proud of you. Well, first she asked, what did you do? You know what I mean? I just told her, but I was like, a lot of that was because I was burnt out. You know, I was not feeling good. You know, I mean, just how the whole day started and then everything piled up against that. I was like, I was shocked. I was angry, but I didn't, if I would have reacted in front of my customers, they would have reacted to.
Yeah.
But I have grown so much where that's not what I did. You know, I loved my job. I mean, I was the best salesman. I was killing. How long
were you there?
I was just there since October last year.
And you were a top salesman or salesman.
Yes,
ma'am. So basically they could have benefited a lot from you. And you would think that since you're the top salesperson there, that after you made a complaint or something like this, that it would be resolved. But what happened when you? Okay,
so the phone call happened. So I got to my sister's house and I called Chris King back. And he was like, you know, hey Nick, let me go get Aaron, and sat the phone down. You know, I can hear. It's a small building and it echoes, so you can hear everything. So I'm just listening to him while he go get Aaron. I'm like, I looked at my sister, was like, yeah, I wasn't trying to talk to Aaron. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to talk to that man that wronged me, period. But okay, let's go with it. Let's see what he has to say. Okay. So we sitting there. He was like, Nick, did you tell your customer to say something to Jim Financial? I said, what are you talking about? Say what? Well, this is how you talking to me in this tone. Well, the finance company did their welcome call and she said something to him. Okay, well, what did she say? That's what I asked. He would not tell me what she said, right? But I was like, well, Aaron, you're calling me, asking me a question, but you're not really asking the question. What? I said, have the, you know, human resources give me a call so they can break it down to what you're asking me, because I don't know. He was like, well, did I do anything wrong? I said, you need to answer that for yourself. yesterday. Did I do anything wrong to your customer? And I'm like, that's a question you need to ask the customer. You know what I'm saying? Where are we getting to? King is in the background. Like, you can hear him trying to tell him to say certain things. You know, it was just so messy. Like
why
so unprofessional and messy.
Why wouldn't he just say what she was complaining about?
I don't know. But you know, I knew it was something to it. I knew in a sense of, dang, but I was like, dang, my customer, when they did the welcome call, she called him out on what he did to me, you know?
And so that too. I probably wouldn't even walked out there with a car, honestly.
You know, it's like, honestly, I got 2 cars from there. Okay. My credit shot, you know what I mean? I was younger, didn't care about it, but it's much better now, you know? So when I went and got a vehicle from them, they were hounding me to work for them because he said I sold the salesman.
Oh,
so
wow.
Right. And so I was in a situation where, no, I didn't have $5,000 to put down on, you know what I'm saying, a vehicle, but I'm working, you know, I got kids. I got to get point A, point B. My daughter just had a baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grandma, you know, I got to move around. So I went there, and that's what they were good for. Okay. They were good for that. And like, I mean, I don't know if I said it, but I believed in the program. You know what I mean? We got to care about our credit.
Right. I do too. I know a lot of people who got cars. I know people personally who got cars from there. And a lot of people who heard about this is like, I don't even want my car anymore. I should take my car back, you know, or I should, you know, file a complaint, you know, for the sake of her. So
love you guys.
So after you got off the phone with him, you got really nowhere. Did HR call you?
No. So it didn't go nowhere. So I gave it, you know, they were like, well, okay, let me rewind. Okay. So back to this phone call. So he was like, well, Nikki. I was like, yeah, you know. He was like, did I do anything to insult you or harm you or something? And I was like, yeah, you did. I'm glad you asked me that. Now that's a question, Aaron. Yes, you did. He was like, what are you talking about? The welfare? I said, yeah, that'll be one. He was like, sometimes I put my foot in my mouth. I didn't mean to say it like that. And I told him, I don't even understand where you got that from. I don't even know. I can't even fathom what made you say that to me. You don't know me like that. I just work here, you know? Just because I bought a car from this establishment when you met me and before you hired me, don't mean that I'm on welfare. Everybody don't be on welfare.
Right. That's true.
So, yeah, he never even mentioned the news. And then King's in the background, where she mad about you writing I like you on the calendar. And I'm like, you know what? Tell King, for he can hear it in the back, that I didn't like that either. I said that whole day was trash.
Yeah, there was multiple things that made you, that offended you. And I think you had a right to be offended.
And then I ended the call like, okay, guys, I got to go. Not feeling well, remember? I was like, if there's anything else, just have HR call me.
Right.
And ended the call.
Okay. And HR never ended up?
No. HR didn't contact me until I sent them an email of my complaint. And that happened on that Saturday. All this happened on a Monday. They got my complaint, my official complaint, Saturday.
Okay. And I read your complaint. I have to admit, it was really professional.
Thank you.
Most professional resignation letter I've seen thus far. But you did also put in there every single thing that you experienced. And when I read it, I'm like, wow. You know, I'm thinking somebody's going to reach out to her. Somebody's going to come back. And you're the top salesperson there. And they'll lose somebody else and you'll come back. But what ended up happening?
Okay, what ended up happening is I put my complaint in that Saturday. Let me go ahead and rewind, because I physically went down there with physical letters in my hands for Aaron, King, Moats, and HR. So I was going to deliver them. So when I went to the store or whatever one of the owners was there by the name of Moats. So I'm like, hey, that's just who I really need to see anyway, right? Because he's the man in charge of the ones that supposed to be in charge in the building.
Right.
And also Jim Financial, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, I walked over there and was trying to hand him the letter. And he's like, what is this, Nikki? I said, this is my complaint, my official complaint and a recognition. He was like, I don't want that. I don't want that. And I was like, you know, still trying to give it to him. And he was like, I need you to go home, you know, and think about this. I want you here, but think about what you're going to do. And I just kindly turned around. I said, okay, I'll think about it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, hold on, Nick. And I was like, yes. You know what I mean? He was like, call Aaron Monday and let him know what you decide to do.
Why Aaron?
Exactly.
If that's the person you're filing a complaint against.
Please tell me. At that moment, I just knew, I knew that they're not going to do nothing. They want me to stay there, make them money, and I have to deal with seeing this man every day that I know that he is a racist.
I know you felt slighted, right? When he told you to call the man that you're making. That's like you complaining about somebody who made a pass at you or who was harassing you sexually. And they say, call them on Monday and let them know if you're coming back to work.
Exactly.
I mean, the same thing, but you still was harassed and offended. And I'm sorry, that welfare comment, I'm not even going to say where I think he was going with that, but I think we all know. The fact that it's a lot of other people who are mainly on welfare and food stamps and things like that. But you know. So
we all got to start from somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I done said on here plenty of times, I'm from the hood, the project, welfare, state, food stamps, all that WIC. So if you need it, you need it. But for him to suggest that you would be on welfare, like as if he wanted you to, I don't know, grovel for your job.
And you know what? It honestly seemed like that. You know what I'm saying? It just seemed like I can't even explain it. I just know it was up that whole day. And when he said that, and he said it looking me in my eyes, because I'm an eye contact person. You know what I mean? He said it to me, and I was like,
I know your customer wasn't there, man, because I'm just imagining what I would have said. So I know if your customer wasn't there, I know if y'all probably would have got into some exchange. But did you go to work Monday, or did you call in, or what happened?
Oh, I called in that Tuesday. No, Monday? No, I didn't. Monday. What happened? Monday, Aaron called. No, he texted me. I have the text message. He texted me, was like, so did you decide what you're gonna do in this text message? It's okay. If you want to take some time off or some time away, you're more than welcome to come back. And as long as I have a spot for you, like at this. I didn't respond back.
Did he offer any apologies or?
No. Well, you know what? He did offer an apology about the welfare comment. Over the phone that Tuesday, but it was generic as hell because you try to say you put your foot in your mouth and things like that to try to soften up what you said to me, but there ain't no way you can soften any of that day up. Not even that I liked you on my calendar, because when I was sitting there to the time when I walked to my vehicle to drive out there, I didn't feel safe. You know what I'm saying? I was a mess. I'm still a mess. You know what I mean? Because I haven't never experienced something so close. You know what I mean? The way it is. I mean, I don't know if you ever been in AutoMart 150 off the expressway. It's like just one space. There's desk behind desk.
Right.
Three offices on the side.
It is a small place. Yeah, I've been over there before. It is a small space, so right. you are in close contact with your coworkers, yes. And be working there with someone that put a noose on your desk. I wouldn't feel comfortable either. And again, this happened recently, a couple of weeks ago, at Oriental Trading, and they fired the guy though. They did an investigation. They found out who did it, and they fired it. And the man who it happened to was still taking further actions. But in this scenario, they weren't
not that way
about firing nobody. They just wanted you to come back.
No. Okay. Well, in the sense of saying, before they knew what was real. So that Monday, that's when I went to the police department. Okay. Because I called equal opportunity and, was trying to do the things that I did. I guess HR didn't give him, Aaron, and Moats the heads up that she filed this complaint Saturday while you're texting her Monday, about what you're going to do. So I got the advice. They advised me to go to the police department in Council Bluffs and file a police report because it was a hate crime. Right. And I was like, okay, because I feel, I can't even express it. You know what I mean? So I went to Council Bluffs. I went by myself. I went there, filed a police report. I'm moving so fast. I left the noose at home. Okay. So I'm like, okay, just still let me do the report. You know what I'm saying? The man, he took my report. He gave me his email address. He told me when you get home, take a picture of it. I would say a good hour after that or so, a detective called me. Okay. And he was like, introduced himself, took my statement. He asked me about the news. And I was like, well, yeah, it's at home. I wasn't even at home at that time. And he was like, well, can I meet you at your house and pick it up? I was like, sure. And I was like, I'll call you when I get to the house. So him and another officer came to my house and retrieved the noose.
But you made sure you took pictures of it beforehand?
I was on a live stream with my sisters, and I wasn't thinking about that. I didn't know what to think. I just know I wanted to get home.
Right.
And, everything just happened so fast. Literally, I don't even know why I did it because it was sitting on my dresser, until that Monday.
So now the noose is at the police station?
Yes. Council Bluffs Police have the noose.
And they're keeping it? Did you happen to go back down there to try to take any pictures or anything so you can have your own proof?
We're going to be working on that tomorrow.
Okay. So where is it at now as far as the job? Have they tried to reach you after you filed the police complaint?
No. Okay, so no, they haven't. So when I talked to the Rose, her name at HR, she told me that Saturday, I'm going to talk to my boss and I'm going to see what we're going to do for you, Nikki. I'm sorry this happened to you. It's just crazy. She was like, but when I told her, she asked me, who did it? And I said, Aaron. And she kind of gave her, okay. Like
she's not surprised.
Yeah, like this wasn't the first time something, his behavior has been reported or something. You know what I'm saying? That's what I got from it by her response back, So I was like, okay, great. She emailed me the following day and was like, we're going to do an investigation. I'm going to try to keep you in, knowing what's going on and all this. She didn't at all. I called her, was it the end of last month, and asked about my last check for the 7 cars, And she was like, well,
hold up. So you sold 7 cars before you quit and you haven't got paid and it's been what, 2 months?
No, 1.
It's been okay, so it's been a month since you quit. But
honestly, I didn't quit. And I wanna clear that up.
Okay.
Yeah, I honestly want to clear that up because I didn't quit. It's such a big, auto group. You know what I mean? Y'all could have put me somewhere else. away from that man. But y'all need to do something with that man. You know what I'm saying?
Is it like a nationwide company, or is it just in the Midwest? Or
I think it's really just a Council Bluffs thing. I honestly don't know how far that auto group go.
Okay.
You know, but they have reached mostly Council Bluffs. Okay. And I don't know which way I'm going. Okay, so with the HR, they just never contacted me. I've just been home. They haven't gave me, you know, hey, Nick, since you contacted the police, we can't do anything. They never told me none of that. So I called. I'm like, dang, these people are really dodging me. Like, I'm calling her. I'm sending her emails. She's not responding. You know, I'm like, okay, so who do I talk to? You know what? So she ended up calling me back on a different telephone number. Mm-hmm. And she was like, hey, Nikki, I seen that you called. What's up? I was like, what's going on with the investigation? You know? Mm-hmm. She was like, well, to my knowledge, you contacted the police. And since you did that, they have to take care of that. So I was like, so what about everything? I was like, the police needed to handle the Noose situation. Right. You guys needed to handle the Noose and his behavior. Exactly. Everything about that day was wrong. Mm-hmm. She was like, Nikki, I can't talk to you about all that, really. But since you called the police, basically you're asked out. But at this time, the police already contacted me and told me that the detective called me and told me that the state or the county or whoever is not going to pick it up because he wrote, I like you on your calendar. He was like, since he wrote, I like you on your calendar, it doesn't make it malicious. I said, what do you mean? He did that 30 minutes later. And that's exactly what I told that detective. He was like, well, that's what the district attorney said. The hell?
And that's what confusing me. Like, why would you put a noose on somebody's desk and then later say you like them? Unless it was as if he just wanted to act like, oh, it's not such a big deal. It's just a joke. We just playing, you know.
Or try to cover his ass.
Or try to cover his butt and make it seem like he wasn't really trying to do anything hateful or something illegal, you know, because it is a hate crime.
Yeah. That's that and I don't understand why they didn't see it. You know, I had witnesses, you know, my customers that was there, they told them. I found out though, that coworker that was in there that showed me and called it what it was, a noose. He sure was like, the detective told me, he was like, oh, I didn't take it seriously. I thought it could have been a ring, you know. I don't think she did either. That's what he told the detective. Like, what you mean, bro?
So now we are talking about a bread tie, right? And if you take a bread tie and you twist the bread
around here,
make a hole in the middle, that could look like a noose. But a ring?
No. I can sit 5 kids down here at this table right now. I suggest y'all do it. If y'all got kids that's watching, give them a bread tie and tell them to make you a ring and inbox me with it.
Mm-hmm. They probably wouldn't have the top sticking up. They would have it all flat.
Oh, yes, they will. Yes, they will.
I'm picturing a kid doing. Yeah.
Exactly. I did that with my niece. Because I just know, you know, you're what? 40-something years old, man. You know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. You know what you're doing. You're not that naive. Yeah, but you just thought she was slick. You just thought that I was going to stick around. You know what I'm saying? And continue to make my coins. But I wish I could, but your ass should have been out of
it. And it's so messed up because not only are they not doing anything that you would want them to do, but on top of that, you ain't get your last check.
No.
And is it like I know you get commission and things, but do you get paid like twice a month, once a month?
Twice a month. Twice a month at the end and the 15th. So the end already came and I didn't get nothing. So what? The 15th is tomorrow,
right?
To be continued. Let's see. But I tell you this: the ADP app ain't saying nothing.
Oh Lord Jesus, I'm gonna have Sherman come in real quick and let us know your thoughts on everything that's been going on, because you have been working with her and dealing with this with her and trying to assist. What do you see needs to be done next?
Well, first of all, I want to just say that Nikki is a very special girl. She has the heart of gold. And the way that we ended up reconnecting was that night that young man, they said he took his life. And they had that live that I shared with you, Tanya. Yeah. Me and her ended up jumping out of the bed and going down there and not knowing that we was going to run into each other.
Oh, wow.
And so she was so concerned about this young man that she pulled up, and I was so concerned about him that I pulled up. And as we're sitting there, then she tells me this, and I'm like, how are you dealing with this alone and still coming to check on somebody else?
Right.
Oh, man. So then I'm like, you know, in my heart, I knew it was meant for us to connect, because this is the type of stuff I'm doing and going to continue to do. Because one thing is, we must protect the queens. That's a no-brainer. If we as Black men is not standing up for the women when they need us, then what is the purpose? That's what we're here for. So when she brought the story to me, she said she wasn't getting no luck with nobody, the news, nobody was talking about it. So immediately I contacted my friend at Channel 6, John Chapman. He came right down to the Bryant Center and we did the interview, got the story on there. And that's when we realized that they closed the case, and they said they wasn't reopening it until we got new evidence, which is bullshit. But then we found out that the employee was the one who kind of put the doubt in the story when he changed his story. I think in fear of his job. But your job don't stop you from standing up for what's right. And that was the right thing to do. You should have told the story as mad as you was from the day it happened.
Yeah.
And the whole thing with the HR lady. So when that customer called and filed that complaint, now I've been in management. When that customer said that complaint to the finance person, instead of that finance person going to tell the person who the complaint is about, they should have filed that too with HR, that I received a complaint from a customer about this employee. They didn't do that. They skipped right over and gave that information to the person. That's already another offense, because you can't do that. As management, your duty is to report complaints that comes from customers. And that customer was so shook by the Noose incident that she still was talking about it the next day. So, I mean, that kind of stuff is what we have to definitely not stand down for. And I just want to applaud Nikki for having the voice and the courage to reach out, to get to have a voice to say something and speak up about it, because a lot of times this kind of stuff gets swept under the rug because we don't have platforms like Tanya's and the different people that's willing to talk about it, because everybody's too worried about jeopardizing their, you know, relationship or.
He frozen.
He froze.
Yeah, he froze.
Am I frozen?
Yeah, you good. You good.
Oh, okay. Okay. And so, yeah, I think for sure 100% with this incident, first is going back to the detective and finding out what we got to do to get the case back open. Also finding a good lawyer, because she have received already a lot of paperwork that we're filling out, and we want to make sure it's done correctly. But at the same time, we are not going to allow this to happen and just stand by idly. So you'll see a few continued continued efforts, but we're not going to just say what we're going to do, but you'll see it happening.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a comment. Well, we got a lot of comments. I'm just going through some of them, highlighting some of them. But Melissa King, hey, Melissa, she's a member to the Hood Table Squad. She said, didn't HR advise her to go to police? Now they're saying that she shouldn't have. Or so is that what happened?
No, HR didn't advise me anything. She just told me, she advised me that she was going to talk to her boss and figure out what to do. I got that information for the equal opportunity people. They were like, well, you know, that's a hate crime. You need to go to the police.
But basically, so this is what happened. The lady that was called by the customer, she should have went to the management or the owner, and she basically told the person that the complaint was against.
Yeah.
Like, somebody called and said you did this, and that, and of course, where is it gonna go from there?
Right.
Exactly.
Like,
So
that gave him enough time to formulate his own fake story and everything else, because now he ain't caught off guard with it.
He got a heads up.
He got a heads up, and also Moats did. Because Moats is in the same office as the finance company. You know, he is the only male in this building with women handling the finances. That owner that I try to hand my resignation to in my complaint, that told me he was going to have Aaron call me Monday or call Aaron Monday and let him know what I'm going to do. So he knew it too, because them girls ain't going to risk their position not to let the big boss know what the boss at the dealership is doing.
And it sounds like some of them who even knew that it was wrong don't want to all the way agree for the sake of their job.
Yeah.
They don't want to acknowledge it. And then also the fact that he said, "I like you." He only did that after he came back in and seen the climate in the room was thick.
Yeah, it was thick.
So of course he gonna write "I like you" because now he nervous on what's going on. Real. He thought it was so fucking funny, but it wasn't.
Right. Right. Well, let me ask you this. That's okay, Melissa. She said she misunderstood. That's okay, huh?
It's okay.
I'm all over the place. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. Do this for me. Explain. Okay, this Aaron guy. How long has he been there?
Okay, so for this past, I would say, couple of months, I've been calling them the boys club. I'm the only female there.
Okay.
First off. And so Aaron's been, I guess he's been in the business for 20 years, 15, 20 years. And so has King.
Okay.
And Jody.
Okay.
And whose record did you
at that location though, all that time?
Well, I guess as far as AutoMart go, I think it's probably been like 10 years. I mean, I honestly don't, know.
And you were in October.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna just assume that this Aaron has a pretty good relationship, because this is it's a small building, and you guys all are pretty, in close quarters with each other. But what's the like as far as Aaron? How close is he to the others? Do they like hang out? Do any of you guys do any kind of thing like that when you were there?
We have had like group outings. Like, honestly, I'm sorry, I ain't trying to be soft on here, y'all, but I got along fine with my coworkers. You know what I'm saying? We enjoyed, we played around, just in the sense of, just knowing, each other, getting to know their family, each other's family. I mean, I had Cody. He was cutting my grass. I was paying him $50-$60 to cut my grass. So every week he's at my house cutting my grass, and it's just literally like, let me talk about the new guy. The new guy is Q. When they hired him, they seen a brother, they figured, he's been in sales. He used to work at the pawn shop on Ames. He knows a lot of our people, that can come in and get these vehicles.
Right.
So she already had like a little thing, like he told him, I'm gonna come in and kick her ass. But what he told me, I'm gonna come in and kick her butt, because when he looked at the board, when they interviewed him, they were like, he's seen 20 cars next to my name, 5 on everybody else's, and was like, who is Nikki?
Okay.
So he targeted me from the beginning. Now, I honestly, I give everybody a fair shot. I'm not that type of person that just automatically judge. Even with the comment, I'm gonna come in and kick her butt, that didn't faze me, because I'm like, good luck, bro. You know,
it's a little competition, and y'all work in commission. I can see that. I can see somebody saying that at any job where there's a where you get compensated for how much you sell with commission, saying, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna top them." So you just took it as in fun or a little,
Yeah, and so that's how I made it. It's just honestly, y'all, like, Sherman's thorough. You know what I'm saying? I can see him, you know, hey sister, you know, he calling us women queens, our brothers, y'all kings. You know what I'm saying? But this man, every time a sister or brother come in, he'll be like, hey sister, hey bro, you know, whatever. I taught him some stuff. You know what I mean? I done shared some sales with him in the way I need to say I done broke bread with him. You know what I'm saying? To get him, because he's new, to get him going. You know what I mean? And he was so mad. So I honestly feel like, dude, first off, I'm gonna speak to my co-workers. Y'all some pussies. You know what I'm saying? None of y'all called me, checked on me, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Q, your card's taken.
And he was really upset. And then afterwards, when you took it a little bit further, now he's like nonchalant, like, oh, it was really no big deal.
When the detective told me that, I was livid. I could not believe it. I could not believe it. You know, he was just like, and I'm the type of person that try to, you know, I'm like, you know, what do you think this is? To laugh to stop from crying. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, that shit ain't funny. Like, he was serious. You know? No, he wasn't. He figured he can get me out to, you know, to make that money. There's money to be made. There's still money to be made.
Yeah, there's money to be made in selling cars. And I think from the way it sounds, it was like, you know, he was upset and stuff till he probably didn't think you would leave. That's the thing. He probably think, you know, another day
or take it that far. Yeah.
Right. Or even take it that far.
And then he was feeling like a traitor, I think, and he just like got scared to say something. Like,
yeah. And that's a shame, because
it is.
Somebody gets done wrong, we have to speak up. Like, that's what's wrong with a lot of us. We have to speak up and take up for each other. You know, right. I understand it's a job, but it's a whole bunch. I hate to think like that. I told you the story of when I had been harassed years ago by a supervisor, and it got to the point where it was too much, and it was either I'm gonna cuss her out and we're gonna fight, or I'm just gonna quit. And when I quit, I had just had a new baby. My son's father was off of work, and I cried on the way home. But then when I got home, my mother was like, but you've been putting up with this harassment for 3 months. It's about time you quit. And I found another job in 3 days. So, you know, sometimes you have to stick up for yourself, and you can't let people walk over you. And when people mess around on your friends, co-workers, wrong is wrong. And if you do that to somebody, they'll do it to you.
Most definitely. Most definitely. So, and that goes for all. You know what I'm saying? Even the ones that's not of my culture. You know what I mean? You guys sit around and like Cody, y'all take the abuse that, I mean, some of the stuff that he says to the other co-workers to me is crazy. You know, I mean, he be talking to them younger cats like he they daddy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even the King, Chris King, you know, you heard the comment, you try to soften it up, telling me that, you know, you and your wife was on welfare at a moment. I don't care, bro. You know, like, you can't soften that up. You can't. I mean, you can't. They just scared of that man. And I didn't really know why until that incident. And I was just like, dude, you want me scared of you. That's what you want. And you expect to stay here with it.
And even when you called in to report it, the lady was like, oh, like it happened before, or for her to be like not surprised, lets you know that, you know, something happened for her. He just said, it sounds like one of those jobs where, you know, kind of like where they're professional when the customers are there, but behind the scenes, they kind of say whatever they want. And you know how we watch those videos when we first get hired, or every year they play those videos of how you should act and how you should treat each other, and you should tell upper management if this happens or if you're harassed. But it sounds like they have that kind of relationship at the job where they can just make all kind of jokes and, you know, get away with it or not offend each other like it's okay. And it's not okay. It's not.
It's not okay at all. they knew I'm not like a big game player when it comes to, you know, situations that we go through or, you know, anything like that. I'm not big on trying to be funny about any of our struggles. You know what I'm saying? So they tend to try to keep that away from me. I mean, I don't walked in on conversations and looked them in the eye and told them, when y'all get done talking about that, I'm outside.
Yeah.
Come get me.
Yeah. It sounds like something like this was bound to happen. Bound to happen. You got anything more to say, Sherman?
No, I just know that we can't let stuff like this slide. And people like Aaron, he needs to have his self checked, because if we continue to let people like that manifest and grow, it's going to just be another victim after victim after victim. And that's why I'm saying, like, it's good that Nikki is standing up, not only just for the Black people, but everybody that he's physically, verbally abusing at work, knowing that people need their jobs. You know, I've dealt with people like that before, and we just can't let it slide.
Same here, and that's why I quit that job I was working at years ago. I was like, I don't know where my bread and butter coming from, but God, he always blesses when you're not looking for those blessings. Sometimes when it seems like we want to hold on to something dearly, it's not meant to be held on to. Right. And sometimes it takes a bad situation to get us out of a situation. But I do hope that things, you know, they will take care of things as far as you going to the police. And I know the other person who this happened to a couple of weeks ago with Oriental Trading, they went and got a lawyer and, you know, everything. They're fighting it. It. So,
and I'm fighting it too.
And that's going to just be on the lookout. She's going to be everywhere. Definitely telling her story, and we're going to continue to pursue it legally.
Yep. Lynette said we need to protest.
Yes, we do.
Yep. We set that up. Lynette, hit us up if you're interested in being a part of that.
Yeah, because
anybody that's interested in being a part of it, let us know that y'all want to do that.
Yes, please do.
I ain't got no problem standing somewhere with a picket sign when I think it's for a good cause. So you know, it has to happen. And Sherman's right. If that man didn't do anything, if you didn't do anything, this is going on, and we don't know how often this happens. But it seemed like I keep saying, George did something to this world.
Yeah,
Jeff did something to this world. More Black people and people of color are standing up for themselves and their rights. But the other ones, they let us know they still there and they don't care.
Yeah,
they don't care how much we protest, and you know they don't care about Black Lives Matter, and they don't care. So they'll still do little things every now and then to let us know we ain't scared. You know, and you have to check them. You have to check them when they doing stuff like that.
Right. And it's crazy. It just kills me. I ain't gonna lie. I told myself not to do it, but I did. I was reading some comments in a place I didn't need to read no comments at. And the stuff that comes out of people's mouth is just unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? None of this is, you know what I'm saying, made up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I didn't attend this happening to me. I didn't wake up that morning and was like, hey, this is what's going to happen to me. This man did this to me. And I was very comfortable and successful in what I did. I treated people with respect. I made sure they got into anything and everything that was reliable. I would say people would probably call me a bad salesman because I'm too honest. And if that's the car needs work and it's a piece of crap, I'm going to let you know, you know?
And that's the kind of car salesman that I like. I don't like to be pressured. I don't like nobody to follow me around. I'll come get you when I'm ready to get the car. But have you thought about? I know you got a lot on your plate right now. You're dealing with a lot, but have you thought about going back into that type of career?
Ooh.
I did tell her that I think we should get her a foundation. A fund going to raise some money for her to go to, you know, get her dealer license and get her own dealership, because she's a great person. Why are you reading my mind? What? Because this is what we got to empower our sisters to do what they, do best. Follow your heart. If you was good at that, don't let them or this incident stop you from following what you was good at and you felt passionate about, which is putting people in nice cars, or protecting, making sure they got their family right. So, Yeah,
right.
Stay doing that. I just want to make sure too, though, that anybody, I see comments of people saying they want to help protest. You can always text me at 402-968-5012. I don't care about nobody having my phone because my number. So yeah, make sure you text me if you are wanting to help protest, and we taking all people who's willing to help her.
You said 402-968
5012.
Okay, because I'm gonna put it in the chat.
All right.
And you're very brave for that, Sherman, because I get phone calls every other day about 2 o'clock.
I know.
3 o'clock in the morning, threats.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. You can call threatening calls?
Oh yeah. So ever since I went to the police, it's been these calls, about 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning. They did call me one time, during the day, and that particular day, like, let me be honest with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I kind of been stationed, at home. You know what I mean? If I leave, it's amongst family or I'm with family, because I have trackers in my car through the dealership. I don't know what's going on there, but I do know this. Aaron's the general manager, and when I move, he'll know when I'm moving and where I'm going to.
So, okay. Now the car, now that's not unnormal for somebody who works at a car dealership to get their vehicles from there. So, are you still paying on the cars?
Yes.
Because I was going to ask you, if they're paid off, I would get that tracker off of there so fast.
I honestly wish that I could, but we're having myself and the customers sign, a GPS form that if you do remove, your GPS unit from your vehicle, then your loan is canceled.
I get it.
I get it. Because they sure enough called me. The finance company called me at the end of last month looking for their payment. Honestly, I didn't know how to take it because you guys try to withdraw it out of my account about 3 o'clock in the morning. I seen that everything's notated. You try to pull that out of my account at 3 o'clock in the morning. So the time that you even try to pull it out, Edwards, that's who writes my checks, and it wouldn't have been deposited in that account for you guys to even try to pull it out, So on top of that, you call me and was like, well, we need to figure out what you're going to do with a car. Like I said, I got 2 cars. I just got a new vehicle before all this happened. So they were calling about that, and I was just like, because with my other car, the first car I had, that was pulled out already. I paid monthly. I paid bi-weekly on this one, or semi-monthly on this other one. So she was like, well, we got to figure out what you're going to do with the vehicle. I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, well, your payment didn't go through. I was like, you need a payment? She was like, yeah. And I was like, well, take this card number. It's like y'all really was just on that level of, well, we're going to come get your shit, Nikki, because
that's what it sounds like.
Exactly. Like they did not expect me to pay that. I wish I didn't, y'all. I used my last time to do it, but I mean, it got paid.
It's really an awkward situation because you still have that connection to them, and they probably feeling like, well, she don't want nothing to do with us. She pressing charges. She's doing this. Is she gonna keep these cars? Is she gonna continue to make payments? I mean, there's so much wrong here. Like the main part, him offending you about the welfare comments and stuff, but then you're not even getting your last check. Like no matter what the situation is, if you quit a job, walk out, whatever, flip a computer, you still owed your last check.
Right.
And you so I beat myself up that I didn't do that. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be all the way real with that. I am, because what I'm going through, for me doing what I was supposed to do, going through the right, levels and steps and talking to the right people, and the right people supposed to know, they know what happened to me. And for it to be like that, I should have just smacked that man for everything. You know what I mean? It shouldn't even got as far as a noose on my desk, because when he did that welfare comment, it should have been on.
It would, girl. Let me be quiet.
I already know it's fine. Don't take my word, y'all. I'm just saying.
I can't imagine nobody telling me that at work. Like, that's low. That's real low. Like you insinuating, without y'all, I'm nothing. Or I came from nothing and y'all like rescued me, pulled me up from bootstraps or something.
Like he
That's
said,
the
he was
typical
like, I
behavior.
wasn't trying to be a slave driver. He was on the phone with my sister. My sister fell out of her chair. She was like, did he just say slave driver? I said he did. Yeah. Yeah. He said he was not trying to be a slave driver Monday. I need to remind him about my disability when it comes to that stuff. You're the fucking general manager. Who, I don't know. Somebody tell me, do y'all have to, if you have a disability, does that person disabled have to keep continually telling their manager that they can't do it? And they know they is written, is there? I don't get it,
They would have an issue over that alone, but now we got the noose. We got you threatening to let you go and put you back on welfare, and then not trying to be a slave driver. It's too many signs there.
Too many
other things that have been said that he's done in the past, and
he's not a good person. He's not. Sometimes I think about, I've been doing a whole lot of thinking, I'm like, sometimes I feel like I'm drowning, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, damn, you are that guy, and I talked to a coworker I had that kind of showed me the ropes when I started that company, right? And he told me, because she didn't want to throw me off my game. So once, all this happened, she let me know, what was behind the scenes. And she said the reason why Aaron hired me, because he knew I can have a lot of my people like me come in and I can sell them, So I don't know.
Like, you gonna bring the homies in or something.
But you know what? I brought my family in. My family bought the merch from me.
Yeah.
It was a great experience. I enjoyed every one of my customers. You know what I'm saying? I still have relationships with some of my customers. We're good friends now. I looked out. I don't know. It's just, I was just myself, you know what I mean? And just, I fed them lunch and everything. Like, I'm hungry, you're hungry, because we're going to eat and we'll finish on this car. It's just sad. Most and foremost, I do miss the people that I was working with as far as the customers.
Well, when I asked you, Sherman, he took the words right out of my mouth. When I asked you, would you, think about getting back into selling cars? I was going to say, because you were a top salesman there, you are a people person, you're friendly, good communication, really professional. I'm not going to say how we know each other, but I experienced a deal there, before with someone, and we happened to work with you, and I walked away as if, I'm like, dang, did we just go to Walmart or did we go to auto dealership? Because it didn't seem like we were at an auto dealership. It was different. It was different. So that's why I asked you that, because like Sherman said, if you really want to get into something like that, I think about doing my own thing. You know what I'm saying? Really.
Definitely. Yeah. And I just want everybody to know that what we have to do going forward is making sure we call that stuff what it is. If it's racist, it's racist. No more pretending like this stuff that's happening is not because of the color of our skin and who we are. And if, as long as they know that we done playing that game, then they're going to stop messing with us. But until then, we have to keep on pressing the issue on stuff like this and pressing people for stuff like this and calling it what it is. Aaron is a racist. He ain't been called out on it, and we're going to call him out on it, and we're going to make sure he know that he better not mess with these queens, not one of ours, because when you look like us, every day it's a fight. It's a struggle in America. But that shit's going to end the more we continue to call it out and keep standing up for each other.
Thank you, Tracy. She said, thanks for Nikki's story time. I will assist you in any way that I can. Great interview, fam. Thank you. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and thanks for supporting Nikki. Sherman, when you do get that set up with her, or the GoFundMe, because I think that would be really good right now, to help her, till she finds another job or till she decides what she want to do next. But it also help with fees, because it's going to be some expenses and what coming up. We're getting lawyers and attorneys and things like that. So she's going to have some expenses. So as soon as you get your fund set up, I'll tag it on this video, in the description box, so people can just click on the link, donate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have, like Sherman said, we have to speak up. It's, back in the day, we have those things where we joked about certain things that's why the women, we are the way we are right now in workplaces, because all the ways that we used to do it before, talking about, sex and talking about, all these derogative things at work in the workplace, which made us uncomfortable. It's the same thing with black and white racism. It's certain things you're not supposed to do at work. And too many times people allow it because they don't want to get fired. They don't want to lose their source of income. But, you got to respect yourself.
Yeah, you're right.
Demand respect. So, yeah.
And there's another thing I want to add on there, because there's some comments I've seen on something else.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, maybe he was giving her a ring and all this and all that. And, he wrote, I like you. You know what I mean? Well, guess what? None of that was welcomed either. He harmed me there too. So if it was on that level, that was completely, unprofessional and harassment. Dude, why do I get a ring, and why are you saying I like you?
Mm-hmm.
So either that goes, but I know what it was. Aaron. That was a noose, and you know it.
Mm-hmm. I believe you. And ain't nobody gonna tell you they like you after they put a noose on your desk and threaten to put you back on welfare and not care about your medical condition and make you stand outside in the blazing heat washing all those cars when they know that you're not supposed to be in direct heat. Then he turns around, I like you. That was a ring. Yeah, bye, Felicia.
Right.
But yeah, you keep me posted. You and Sherman, keep me posted. I'm there to support any way I can, and I thank you for bringing your story to the Hood Table platform. I really do appreciate that. Taking the time out. I know it needs to be told, but you can go anywhere and tell your story. So I do appreciate you bringing your story to the Hood Table. And make sure again you send me the link as soon as y'all get the GoFundMe set up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Any last minute words? Are we good?
We're good. We done talking.
Good.
We done pretending.
Because I can go a whole another hour, And y'all gonna say stuff over and over again, but I can do it.
My subscribers know I like the chitty chat, so I can go for hours too. But thanks everybody for tuning in. We do appreciate you again. Make sure you like the video, share the video, get Nikki's story out there. Share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the Hood Table on your way out if you're not already subscribed. Until we meet again.